mark on Akademiks. Can't run away.
Yeah, and Charleston White gonna be Charleston White. It's gonna be a little bit sarcastic. All right, first and foremost, let's get to the obvious that's breaking. And I didn't want to even start out with Drake, man. God damn it. What y'all got me here? But did Drake get offered the Super Bowl, bro? Because this morning I woke up and there's mad niggas hitting me like, yo, told you Drake be feeding y'all lies. You and Mealy Mall, Drake just lies to you and y'all are dick riders, y'all just eat it up. I'm like, what the fuck that got to do with me for? Right? So if you guys don't know Mealy Mall, a nigga who I'm it's like Walking Dead out here. I thought this nigga was deceased. Feel what I'm saying? Mealy Mall, Drake, Super Bowl. I forgot Mealy's not his name. Nigga, I just wrote Mealy. Mealy Mall. Boy. Okay. So the relevant parts in this is that, let me see. Okay. The relevant part is that a podcaster known as Mealy Mall said this on his story, on this podcast about Drake reaction to Kendrick Lamar.
Have you spoken to him since the announcement?
Yeah, spoke briefly.
About the Super Bowl, or you guys were just like talking about week one?
No, the Super Bowl.
Week one
Of the NFL?
No, man.
Week one.
No, it was about the announcement. You know, it was just regular shit. Laughed and he gave me his thoughts on how he felt about it and what he thought was going on. But it was
Is that something you can share on mic?
What he said.
Yeah.
No, I would never do.
Okay.
That. But he's not.
I figured I'd try.
Yeah, no.
I kind of knew the answer.
It's just
you, Rory.
Yeah.
a lot of it is just laughing, man. It's just like like word, like this is what y'all want to see. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
That's hate.
all right.
We do.
Obviously, people
That is hate.
don't. Like, the whole internet is upset about it. The sticky part about all of this is Drake has been offered this Super Bowl show for some years now and has turned it down. Probably 4 years he's been offered to
I didn't know
perform at Super Bowl. Said no for whatever reason. Whatever reason, he just didn't.
Did he tell you that, or is that like a known thing?
I didn't know that.
I've never heard that either.
What? The who?
Drake
Oh, yeah.
said no.
Well, he has. Drake has turned down the Super Bowl a few years.
Now, here's the thing. And, I'm going to get to a media point in this in a bit. Because I heard TDE Pun say something. And I thought it was interesting. So Mealy Mall says this, right? Now, you have to realize, like, Mealy Mall got pulled from the depths of hell, from 6 feet under, from being in a bunk bed casket by Drake, because it's apparent that Drake does speak to him as well. And Drake speaks to a bunch of people. Speaking to Drake is not some exclusive thing, right? But I could imagine he's probably targeted in who he lets know his information, because he probably knows at some point they'll decimate it, or not decimate it. They will distribute it in whatever format they would like. So I actually do believe that he had this conversation with Drake. But here's the thing. I'm telling you right now, we're going through post-battle syndrome. I keep saying it's PBS, post-battle syndrome. And what quickly happened is that people were like, yo, this feels like Cope from Drake fans. Now, there's a guy, and let me see if I could find... What's this guy's name? I'll just go to Kirko. Basically, a journalist, right? A journalist came out from Bloomberg Business. And the thing about media these days is that as soon as you see a big name, you're like, oh, this got to be reputable, right? Because, like, who are you going to believe? Mealy Mall or the Bloomberg.com website that hires quote-unquote journalists? And what's the guy's name? Because I want to put him on the clock, because if I ever get shit wrong, niggas act like I'm a liar. So we gonna get to the bottom of who's lying here. Where is it? Get a preview. Can I find it? Okay. I think the nigga's name is Randall Williams, I think. Let's click on his name. Is it him? Yes. So this is a guy here, okay, who says NFL sources, he broke this news today. He says NFL sources, he works with Bloomberg Sports. NFL source told me in the last 5 years, the NFL has been partnered with Rock Nation. The two parties have never offered Drake the Super Bowl halftime show. One source said it's a blatant lie. Now, you know the K-bots of this world, they're like, oh my God, yes, we caught Drake lying or Mealy Mall is lying. It's over, right? And I remember even thinking, I'm like, if Drake did lie, this is a very dumb lie. Because number one, even if it was true, I still think, why the fuck is Drake turning down the Super Bowl? Like, don't turn the Super Bowl down if you're doing it on an ego trip or you're trying to little bro them. If you're gonna rap later in the song saying big is the Super Bowl, why didn't you do the Super Bowl? Goes back again to the narrative I keep saying, just about Drake's music. For a guy who's the biggest rapper, he sure gives the least effort. You get what I'm saying? Like, that shouldn't be the case, right? We see the other top artists do a lot more. The Weeknd, Taylor Swift, like these people, like Sabrina Carpenter performed at the VMAs. Like they are very much involved, not in only giving their fans music, but continuing and furthering their brand and trying to reach as many people as they can, because all these people are international pop stars. So Drake turned down the Super Bowl, whether true or not. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, why turn it down? Now, there is one possible reason that I could think of just off the top of my head. When Jay-Z just got on, right? Jay-Z came in to stop all the hatred and vitriol going at the NFL from the black community. Drake has never been, that's never been really his thing to like make public stances, or he definitely, he's not the guy who's seen as beloved, from black people culturally, like, oh, he's like one of the, it's going to be all right type of niggas. Well, we going to be all right type of niggas. So why would you ruin your face or make yourself look worse by crossing the picket line and going against Colin Kaepernick? Because at that time, it was almost seen like it was going against Colin Kaepernick at that time, right? So maybe that's why Drake would turn it down, right? But if he just turned it down because he thought he was bigger than the Super Bowl, I just think that's fucking stupid. I'm sorry. And I'll still say that, okay? Anyway, so this guy put it out. Everybody's then commenting like, yo, Drake's a liar, Mealy Mall's a liar. And then the story flips back again. What ended up happening is that Elliott Wilson, and this is you kind of have more reason to believe Elliott Wilson, because Elliott Wilson has been like the biggest hater of Drake since Drake dissed him on Instagram. So he got no reason to say nothing nice about Drake. And I agree. If Drake diss you, like shit, when Lil Baby diss me, fuck that nigga, man. Yeah, I got no problem with Elliott Wilson, feeling the way about Drake, whatever. The only thing I don't like what Elliott does, Elliott will try to get somebody else to hate on Drake for him. No, nigga, you hate on Drake. You keep the hate with you. Like when I'm hating on Meek, I don't need another nigga to hate on Meek. I'm hating on Meek. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's my only thing I've noticed about Elliott. But anyway, he came out and he actually he actually said the opposite of what this journalist said. He said, no, Mealy Mall is right. Apparently, Drake has turned down the Super Bowl multiple times. This is what he said.
Other thing I want to say is I had some intel. I thought Maul was capping. I thought he was lying about Drake turning down the Super Bowl.
He said Drake turned it down multiple times, right?
The sticky part about all of this is Drake has been offered this Super Bowl show for some years now and has turned it down. Probably 4 years he's been offered to perform at Super Bowl. Said no for whatever reason.
That sounded wild. It was like four times. Like, who turns down the Super Bowl that many times? Even Ack was like, how many times he turned it down? Why would he turn it down? I have an authority. My multiple sources have told me that Drake has indeed turned down the Super Bowl. He actually turned down the first two, the one in Miami and the Weeknd one.
That was the first two that Jake took over.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
now here's the thing of people with credibility, and we're gonna get back to this journalist guy who said that it was absolutely a lie, and according to their sources, it was a blatant lie. Elliott Wilson is a really good source for this. Why? Elliott Wilson, right before he went to Hip Hop DX, or I don't even know if he still has a title anymore, no pun intended. Elliott Wilson, if you don't know, and this is how I even come in, when I went to do Everyday Struggle, Elliott Wilson eventually moved on to a position, because, he was supposed to do Everyday Struggle with Joe. He didn't do it because he was trying to set up a couple other things. And he ended up running Tidal. Like, so basically he became the head honcho, or like one of the head honchos at Tidal. Tidal, owned by Jay-Z. Him and Jay have been locked in. He has the most, I don't know, maybe Angie got more Jay-Z interviews than him, but he has a bunch of Jay-Z interviews. He literally has a direct connection to Jay. And I know he's definitely still in bed with Jay, no pun intended, no Diddy shit. Because Elliott will clip anything I say roasting anybody else on here, except when I start talking about Jay-Z. Nigga, I could say anything about Jay. He will act like I never said it. If I say 20 good things about Drake and say one bad thing, the one bad thing is clip. I could say Jay-Z been cheating on Beyonce, been beating it. I could say anything. None of that shit goes up. So anyway, that's his man's. I get it. So what I'm saying is that he's a good source. He's a good source for all of these things that could be what Jay-Z or Rock Nation really, really thinks or really want to say on the record. And he's basically saying, according to his sources, so I got to imagine Jay-Z, right? According to his sources, Drake did turn it down.
Two, the one in Miami and the Weeknd one.
That was the first two that Jake took over.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jay takes over, and again, his rival, whatever, Drake, like you talk about all these history and this back and forth. I mean, these guys are all rivals with each other. They've had their good times and bad times with each other. But business-wise, Jay-Z wanted Drake on that Super Bowl stage, and he turned it down twice. So now, years later, when an opportunity is asked of Kendrick, and Kendrick says yes, just is Jay not playing fair there? Should Drake feel a way about it when he's known himself? He's had opportunity to do it.
No, that affects it.
And he's turned it down.
That changes
twice.
my opinion. Did you ask why he would have turned it down?
I don't know why, but he did turn it down. He was offered it twice, so.
Yeah, again, it's either two reasons why Drake turned it down. Either he's super egotistical, and you got to be super egotistical to turn down something multiple times. And which, by the way, I heard Rihanna had turned it down once before. She did it later. But Rihanna has done it. Michael Jackson has done it. Prince has done it. Beyonce has done it. Like these are the biggest artists in the goddamn world, right? Like again, you compare yourself to them when you're kind of bragging and doing your Drake shit. So I can't think you think you're too big for the Super Bowl. So I got to think it's some other things. You know, I see some people be like, well, you know, availability this and third. Yeah, listen, I'm pretty sure even if these niggas are on tour, you could move 2 weeks of your tour back. You could cancel like 6-7 dates because, you know, you're gonna have to go rehearse and do all that stuff. You're not just showing up day off and running on stage. But yeah, niggas can move their shit around for the Super Bowl. The priceless billboard in terms of promotion is worth it for any artist, including Drake. And I see some people like, well, yeah, Drake don't rap for free. Please shut up. Everybody did the Super Bowl for free. It's just one of those things. And I don't even know if, let's say Drake is going to be at the center of this FIFA thing, which, by the way, I don't know why y'all convinced me. Y'all told me the World Cup, FIFA World Cup was in Toronto. Nigga, I looked up. Somebody lied to me. FIFA World Cup final. Nigga, that shit is in MetLife Stadium, nigga, in 2026, nigga. That's in Jersey. That's in Jersey, on the border of Jersey and New York. That shit is not in Toronto, nigga. And that's going to be the game where everybody watches. That's going to be the motherfucking game that everybody watches, this one. And it's just in New I guess the FIFA World Cup this year is just it's in Canada. Let me see. The whole World Cup is going to be in Canada, the U.S., and somewhere else. I forgot where else, but yeah. Yeah, the World Cup is going to be, yeah, it's Canada, Mexico, and United States. I don't know why y'all made me think that they picked Toronto. I was like, why did they pick Toronto? No, they might have a couple of, apparently in Canada, there's going to be 2 spots that they're going to do certain events or certain like matches. They're going to have one in Toronto, I believe, and another one, Toronto. Yeah, one in Toronto and one in, no. Wait, fuck, hold on. One in Toronto and another one, I thought it was like Montreal or something. Like, yeah. So anyway, this will not be like, you know, it's 3 countries co-hosting it. Canada, Mexico, United States. And the final is going to be in motherfucking, I know it says MetLife Stadium, but it's like literally you could walk to New York. It's in New York. Right? Even though this is technically Jersey, but still. MetLife Stadium, the New York Jets play MetLife Stadium. The New York Giants play MetLife Stadium. Yeah. Okay. All good. Yeah, but here's the thing. So now Elliott Wilson comes out and says, dog. Essentially, Drake has turned the shit down. So let me look what this guy is saying now. Maybe he switched up his beat. Let me see. Oh, he hasn't said anything else. So yeah, I don't know this guy from he at Elliott Wilson. Here we go. I don't know why he at him. He says NFL sources tell me, nah, I'm sorry, brother. Yo, I'm gonna keep it a beat with you, Mr. Randall Williams. We never heard about you before 3 hours ago, my guy. I'm going with Elliott Wilson, not only the guy who has direct connections to Jay-Z, also he has the most reason of everybody but Joe Budden in terms of media to hate on Drake, and even he is saying, nah, Drake actually did it. So I'm sorry, Mr. Randall Williams. This is an interesting part in media. Randall, I'll tell you how I would normally handle this, okay? This ain't recess, though. I'll tell you how to do it. I'd go back to my source, and I'd say, hey, listen, Elliott Wilson and others are getting direct sources from, obviously, Jay-Z, saying that Drake was offered. Could you either give me something more if you were telling the truth? And it looked like he had multiple sources. It says it's a blatant lie. I would tell him, this is how I handle sources. If you lie to me, I stop protecting you. Don't lie to me. If you feed me a lie, before I look like the liar, we're the liar. So don't give me anonymous lies. You get what I'm saying? I protect a lot of people. I get a lot of information. Sometimes your favorite rapper leaks some shit. And it's all good. You'll never hear where it came from, right? I've even protected their name when other rappers call me like, how the fuck? Nah, bro, I can't tell you that. You get what I'm saying? Now, where you can't protect the source, if someone is using you as a propaganda machine. Like for example, I think Millie Mall should have did this. If Drake, if Drake tells me, yo, I turned the Super Bowl down 4 times. And then and it's understood that he knows I'm finna go say that publicly, and I go say it, and it comes back that he fucking lied to me, even though Maul did say his source was Drake. Nigga, I'm telling Drake, nigga, go clear that shit up, nigga. Like, nigga, you're not gonna use me as a mouthpiece for your lies and propaganda. And then when it gets exposed, I just look like the liar. You just look like some random person who didn't say shit. So, and shit, I've done that with Cardi too. Nigga, Cardi. You know when I'm telling niggas about when your album's coming, I'm getting it from you, right? I'm getting it from your label, right? Like, nigga, I'm not just like, Genie, when is Cardi? Like, nigga, either go tell the people what's going on, or nigga, I now have to out the source and tell the people, hey, I'm not lying to you, it's Cardi lying. Cardi's the fucking liar, right? So, yeah, whoever this Randall guy is, expose the source. And this comes from me, the person who never exposes source, because sources know not to fuck with me. Don't feed me no lies, okay? Or don't feed me no lies that if the opposite is proven to be true, you can't come and stand on the record of what you fed me. Pause. All right. So we'll see if that happens. What do I believe? I believe Elliott Wilson. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I believe Elliott Wilson probably talked to Jay, right? Or talk to somebody in Roc Nation. Talk to those people. He knows the people. So I believe him. I don't believe this guy. Okay? Now, it brought me to an interesting point because I started talking about journalism at that point, right? A little bit, right? TDE Punch. And I've seen recently, TDE Punch said this. And I don't know why all y'all niggas is trying to like piggyback off like what Kendrick Lamar. Nigga, Kendrick Lamar ain't no goddamn oracle. I know y'all treat him like he's baby Jesus in rap, but nigga, you know, the nigga drops once every 5 years. There's no follow through with any of this like mythical, like down to earth extra shit he be talking about. Like, nigga, he puts a veil over all of our eyes and disappears when he's done selling records. Let's keep it a bean, right? So I seen Punch said this. He said, the propaganda and narratives painted around hip hop culture is scary. Everything loses its true value when the truth is absent. It's getting tough to come on here and engage with people who are really part of this thing and love music. It's getting impossible to tell who's who. Nasty. That was a very interesting points by TDE Punch. And I kind of agree with him, except I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we're here. You see, now we're at a place, and again, I know none of y'all gonna ever give Kendrick any type of fucking blame or anything, but I'm blaming Kendrick, and I am blaming Drake. You know why these days everybody looks to hear what they could be hearing from Drake's fucking mouth from me? Because Drake don't want to fucking talk. Kendrick don't want to fucking talk. We got to go listen to DJ Head or Punch or something. None of these niggas do interviews. None of them will put out a tweet. None of them will tell us how they think. They're just like, oh, I'm just dropping random music. And you know what causes, like, it's like, it's not just the game of basketball that garners wide span attention. It's the narratives. Oh, it's Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Oh, it's LeBron versus the Avengers. Like, that's what gets people intrigued. So when these rappers, Kendrick alike, Kendrick ain't do an interview in 10 years. He don't talk, you don't got to do an interview, but at least the nigga don't get on live and like explain anything he's saying. He's just talking in cryptic codes, hieroglyphics and bullshit. Drake talking to 3-4 maybe media personality, me included, but who knows what fucking his intended purpose is. Here's the point. I love where we're at now because I'm in media. I'm going to keep running with this shit. For people like TDE Punch, don't blame nobody but the artist. There used to be times where Jay-Z, Cameron, 50 Cent would be like, hey, I don't want nobody else controlling the narrative about me. Let me just speak and let me clear up everything going on. Okay? Again, this is not solicitation for interviews with none of these niggas. Listen, I've made peace with a long time ago that Kendrick think he's too good to interview with nobody. That Drake, that all these niggas think they're too good to do that. Okay? That's what I always tell y'all. I make more money talking about people than talking to them. You know what I mean? Like, the Super Bowl shit, I could cover it for the next week. If I interview with a nigga and he says the truth, it's over. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't talk about it no more. It's like, there's no more, okay, here's this next arc. So again, hip-hop is a place where the top artists, and I know Jay's pretty much retired, but we'll throw him in the mix. Jay, Rihanna, The Weeknd, Kendrick, Cardi, they don't fucking speak. So you know what it's going to be? Big Ack is going to make up all this shit. Well, not make it up because y'all are talking to me. Like put this. Cardi's talking to me the whole day yesterday. I'm like, Cardi, just talk to, why are you talking to me? Talk to them. So here's the thing. The version of hip hop we get now is rappers who are scared or unwilling to talk. Mostly unwilling to talk because they want to keep their mystique. They now just talk to a few media people who then disseminate those information, and then people don't hear it from the original source, and everybody has their own agenda. And of course, we're now living in gossip land. So again, I don't mind. I'm the top guy at the gossip land shit because I talk to all the popping rappers, okay, except Kendrick. But I talk to everybody. I talk to people who Kendrick gotta pay to get the records out. So I don't talk to him, but I get the information anyway. You get what I'm saying? But this is true though. I don't want to hear no rappers or nobody who claims they love rap culture say that there is propaganda, say that there's lies, say that they're this, when the people who have the loudest voices don't talk for themselves. If you're talking through Ack and Mall, if you're talking through DJ Head and TDE Punch, you deserve to get all the motherfucking narratives written about yourself. Y'all niggas start talking for yourselves because Ack gonna be fine regardless. These days, I look on Twitter, and Twitter, no matter what is said, right? Twitter creates narratives. Like, for example, let's stay with Kendrick for a second. Bro, Kendrick dropped an album with a bunch of, like, subliminals or sneak dissing, but also talking about the culture in, like, a weird way. We don't even know who he's talking about. Talking about media. He said he's talking about radio guys. We don't even know who he's talking about. Then he put some shoes on his thing. Like, of course, now you're the cryptic guy. You kind of won the battle by people attributing, whether rightly or wrongly, weird meanings to everything you are doing. Oh, 616? It was that time Drake went by the bus stop to go scout the kids. Oh, 616? Oh, that's a Bible verse from Corinthians. Wait, 616? Bro, that was like back in 2011 when they first... Bruv, nigga, like all this cryptic shit, y'all deserve for us to make up some bullshit about y'all. Cut the fuckery out. Like, when did y'all niggas get so lit that y'all got to tweet? Like, I see everybody, they're so like, oh, look how Kendrick moves. He's just dropped three tweets. Like, he don't say nothing else. Cool. We're perfectly fine. We'll make up the narrative for you. So, TD Punch, this is not just for, you see, I'm keeping it fair. This goes for Drake. This goes for Kendrick. This goes for any of the artists that won't use their own mouth. If you won't speak for yourself, trust me, Ak will speak for you. Okay? Trust and believe. Y'all niggas all got Twitter accounts. You're not that cool. If motherfucking Shannon Sharp could figure out a way how to go live while fucking a bitch, you could go live and clear up some rumors. If everybody and their mama been wondering when your album coming out, but you refuse to tell them, it's for a reason. So when niggas now say, oh, it's coming out, then just like, remember I told you, I don't talk to Kendrick, but I got good information that when I was speaking to people close to the operation, they say Kendrick is loading. What the fuck does that mean? So of course I put it out. You ain't gonna tell people what the fuck going on, so cool. I'm gonna use my sources like I should do. And by the way, it looked like I was right. Yeah, I didn't say what he was loading. Pause. I guess he was loading that bullshit ass track. He dropped it. Cool. But for all of the rappers, and I see now people are talking about the propaganda. Yes, we're in the most divisive time in hip-hop history. This is politics. This is politics. Fans are moving like political operatives. If they like Drake, they can't like Kendrick. If they like Kendrick, they can't like Drake. So, great. At times, for example, at times, certain artists, whether it's Drake, like Drake has probably had good times like disseminating the information. I'm not saying necessarily through me or not, through whoever, for whatever means he had to do it. Same with Kendrick. Kendrick, like when Kendrick finna drop or when he got whatever, he starts sending little smoke signals. You start seeing it. All good, not knocking their process, but all I'm saying is that these days, I seen an interesting message, which this is kind of like, so I think I posted this, right? So this was a Carisha Please episode with Rick Ross. It's a Carisha Please episode with Rick Ross and Carisha. I might say Rick Ross and who. And when I posted it, it was Rick Ross talking about the whole BBL Drizzy thing, right? And a rapper commented, no, it wasn't a rapper. I think it was Wayno. Shout out to my boy Wayno. Wayno commented underneath and he said, yo, these days rappers talk about everything else but their music. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to hear them do an interview, they don't want to talk about music anymore, right? Like you don't get musical conversations or they don't speak at all. And it's kind of true. We are living in a time of gossip, rumors, and narratives. That is the truth. We are 100%. I'm not denying it. We're definitely living in that era. Now, also the fans, because we're living in a divisive time, it's hard for the fans to pick. It's hard, like, you know what I mean? If you like for example, if you like Kendrick, when you heard that Drake turned down the Super Bowl multiple times, like I seen somebody say something, and shit, if I was like a diehard Kendrick fan, I would have probably be like, no, yeah, that had to be the truth. So the conversation around that was, I heard a Kendrick fan say, he said, y'all got to be delusional if you think Drake turned down a Super Bowl multiple times and you never heard it in a rap. And I thought I was like, yeah, Drake do kind of brag about everything. So if I'm a Kendrick fan, I'll be like, nah, it's a lie. Right? And right now, if I'm a Drake fan, which I am, we're going to be like, of course it wasn't a lie. It's the truth. Even the biggest hater, Elliott Wilson, said it. So again, we just living in a time where we're gonna have to blame this on these artists acting too fucking cool. They don't do interviews, and I'm not saying they gotta do interviews, but all y'all could get on Instagram Live, all y'all could just type up a tweet, all y'all could speak to y'all fans, and at least let them not be constantly seeking for these nuggets of speculation to fuel whatever they think based on whatever biases they have, based on whatever sides they're on. And until these artists speak for themselves, fuck it. Let it keep going. That's what I'm saying. Let it keep going. Like, speaking of, like, you know, information and maybe misinformation, shit. Look at this little